The 90s. A time when dial-up internet was a novelty, the Macarena was a dance craze, and Blockbuster Video was the place to be on a Friday night. It was the golden age of movies and video games, and for two young dudes named Jose and Kyle, it was the beginning of a lifelong friendship. Welcome to the Blockbuster Dudes podcast, where nostalgia reigns supreme and the popcorn never runs out.
Blockbuster Dudes fans, it is I, El Duderino, with his dudeness driving next to me. We're kind of just doing an impromptu little thing here, so it should be cool. So, recent conversations have come up regarding the remake of the Toxic Avenger. Some of my kids have asked about it, and I think it's coming out, if I just double check correctly, August 29th of 2025, so several months down the way here. But we've been getting some pictures, some sneak peeks and whatnot. What do you think about it so far?
It's weird to think that they might have actually made a legitimate movie budget version of the Toxic Avenger. And at the very least, I can say I'm intrigued.
But
very intrigued.
But so far, I've seen some of it, and yeah, I know I'm not gonna, it's in the teaser. So police are reported ahead. Hang on.
An asteroid twice the size of Finland.
That's our Waze Blockbuster theme voice. But seen the costume, seen the teaser trailer, and the teaser, of course they have the background Troma thing is the anchor's background, which is cool. But I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I think about the suit. I've seen still frames of the suit now with Peter Dinklage in it, and granted, from the part of the trailer I've seen and some of the stills I've seen, obviously Peter Dinklage is not, he's not a tall man, obviously. But I think that in the movie, Toxie is not the big monstrous monster that we still, he's a monster, he's mutated. But I'm seeing evidence that they are not making him larger than life. Because remember, in the original movie, he was a scrawny little punk. It happens, and he doesn't just get muscles and stuff. He grows like to where he's like 6 or 7 feet tall from a little 5 foot weakling. Sorry, is what he was back then. But with that being said, it looks like his body has changed, but he didn't have any height, which is fine. It's not necessarily, you don't have to be a giant, but still, it's just one of those, it's a different take for sure. But it's kind of weird, because so far what I've seen, and I'm going to let, I'm not trying to monopolize the conversation. What I've seen, I feel like they're trying to be Troma.
Ultimately, that's kind of what I was getting at, is it looks like they're trying to make a Troma movie on a budget, which is intriguing to me, because one, not everything Troma is horrible.
True.
Some of it very much is, and rightfully so. But not all of it is. And in this case, though, it looks like it's taking some of the humor and some of the campiness that is, classic Troma tropes, and incorporating it into a movie that actually has a legitimate budget behind it. So like I said, it's very intriguing to me. It looks like it's trying to pay homage while also still standing alone to do its own thing.
Yeah.
So, like you said, it's definitely a take, and I'm very intrigued enough to know that, to say that I definitely want to see it, because I'm curious. I'm curious enough to see
where
they're going to take it, what obvious changes they're going to make outside of the fact of what you just pointed out with Dinklage being, vertically challenged and not incorporating that into the Toxie monster side of things, which is an interesting take. So I really, I've enjoyed, humorously so, what I've seen so far, and I look forward to seeing more.
Oh, definitely going to watch it. Now, my son's girlfriend threw out something, which she threw it out just as for her, that she wants to watch the original one again before going to the theater to watch the new one.
Okay.
And that kind of made me think of something. How cool would it be to actually have a viewing party of the original movie, either the weekend or day before, or even the day of, depending on how we can work it out time-wise. Watch the original and then go to the movie theater and watch the new one.
Yeah.
But have a watch party for the original, maybe pull out a projector, get a nice little sound system, maybe get a place, and actually anybody who wants to see it on a big-ish screen before they see the new one on the big screen. So what? That might be an idea to pull off. What do you think?
I don't know how much of a turnout you get for it, but
Well, most of them are what the hell's Toxic Avenger?
Again, it'd be a fun experience.
Oh yeah. Have some people come in cosplay. I don't know, but that's the thing. Like, don't get me wrong. It's one of those. When you remake a movie, obviously you're always going to, you're hoping they pay enough homage and keep the spirit of the original alive. But you do want to see what kind of new stuff they're going to come up with. But with this one, you see, it's like you're taking what was ultimately a B or maybe even C movie.
To be nice. Yes.
To be nice, but that's what kind of helped it. It was such a B and C movie that became a cult classic as that. So now, will the campiness, the ridiculousness of some of it, right? The over-the-topness of some of it, will it translate to a mainstream budgeted remake? That's the question in my mind. I'm like, will it be too mainstream? Or will it be not mainstream enough? Or will they come out having tried too hard? I'm afraid they're going to try too hard. Instead of just being a Troma movie, it's going to try to be a Troma movie. That's what I'm afraid of. I hope I'm wrong, but that's what I'm afraid of ultimately.
It's a legitimate fear. I definitely have a similar concern, in that realm. But at the same time, at the very least, I can say this much, based off of, again, just what little teaser footage we've had, is that it at least looks like it's made by people who legitimately enjoy Toxie and probably Troma in general. So
now I heard, and I could be totally wrong, that there is going to be a buttload of cameos in it, not just Lloyd Kaufman, but like actual like mainstream big boy, big name cameos that have not been listed. Who would you be shocked, or who would you think would be an interesting cameo to see, regardless of what character it is?
Who do I think would be interesting, or who do I think likely would be willing to do that? Right?
The second one.
Okay. One name pops in my head is somebody who would likely do something like that is Joe Manganiello.
Okay, gotcha.
Dude was in a Pee-wee movie. I'm just saying.
I know, you're not wrong.
So
what about I'm sorry, I'm gonna throw out Nick Cage. He's weird.
It wouldn't shock me.
It wouldn't shock me. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think it'll be.
But at the same time, because of the name power there, that's a pretty big one.
Yeah. Who else? At one point.
All right, now when you say big names, like what are we defining big names?
At one point,
like Will Wheaton is a kind of an obvious potential one to me.
Yeah. But at one point, and this was rumored, okay, this never was substantiated, so it could have been totally fake. But just because it was rumored at some point, there was a rumor that Schwarzenegger was going to be Toxie. Not Melvin, but once the accidents happened and everything, he was going to be the monster. He was going to be the monster.
That would have been funny.
A la Hercules New York style, where it's not his voice, but he's the body. I'm like, how cool would it be to have Schwarzenegger in there just because the
Hercules in New York or Hercules Goes Bananas?
No, it's Hercules. I thought it was Hercules in New York. I don't know, man.
Same thing.
It probably is. Like I said, it's one of those. There's so many movies that have been released. Initially were one name and then released as something different.